No headings, no subtitles. Emotional, dramatic, Netflix-quality storytelling. A twist-filled, powerful moral at the end. Then a description, hashtags and keywords. The night sky shimmered above the towering glass hotel as the city buzzed with electricity. Inside the rooftop restaurant, laughter and clinking glasses echoed like music. Everyone was celebrating the launch of Orion Tech's newest product, a smart security system worth billions. At the head table sat Charles Whitman, the CEO himself, sharp suit, graying temples, arrogance polished like a diamond. His voice boomed across the room every time he laughed, which was often. People laughed with him, or pretended to. Everyone noticed when Charles reached for his champagne. Everyone noticed when he smirked at the young, black waiter approaching the table, but no one expected what happened next. "Sir," the waiter said softly, "can I speak with you for a moment?" Charles didn't look at him at first. He was too busy bragging to the investors. When he finally turned, annoyance flashed across his face. "Is there a problem?" The waiter swallowed hard. His name tag read Elias, 19 years old, quiet, always polite, "Sir," Elias said, voice trembling, "you're scheduled to take the helicopter in 20 minutes. But, please don't go." Charles froze, then burst out laughing. A deep, echoing cackle that made the nearby tables stop and stare. You're warning me not to fly," Charles said between laughs. "What are you now? A psychic waiter?" The tables around him joined the laughter. But Elias didn't flinch. His hands were shaking, but his eyes stayed focused. Intense. "Sir," he whispered, "I overheard the pilots arguing downstairs. Something about a fuel leak, a faulty valve. They said the helicopter should not go up tonight." Charles rolled his eyes. "And what, you magically understood aeronautics?" "I used to work with my uncle," Elias said quietly. "He repairs aircrafts at the airbase. I know what they were talking about." "Oh, please," Charles scoffed. "You're a waiter." "I highly doubt, sir," Elias said more urgently, leaning closer. "If you get on that helicopter, you won't make it to the ground safely. Please don't go." A heavy silence fell. Investors looked uneasy, but Charles grinned and clapped a hand on Elias's shoulder. "My boy," he said playfully, "you've been watching too many action movies. Nothing is going to happen to me. My pilots are the best, and helicopters don't just explode." Elias's face paled. "Sir, I'm begging you, that's enough," Charles barked. "If you want a tip tonight, bring more champagne." He dismissed him with a wave. Elias stood frozen, helpless, until Charles turned away again, chuckling with his party. The young waiter swallowed back the fear rising inside him and stepped back, heart hammering. Minutes later, the rooftop celebration wrapped up. Guests layered into their coats as the city wind picked up. A sleek black helicopter waited on the landing pad, rotors humming like a beast waking up. Charles strutted toward it, sipping his drink. Still laughing. Elias stood near the service door watching him. "Please don't go," he shouted, voice cracking. Charles raised his glass. "Relax. I'll send you a postcard from the sky." The investors laughed again. Charles boarded the helicopter. The door slid shut. The rotors swirled faster. Elias felt his stomach twist. He began pacing, whispering, "Please, please let me be wrong." The helicopter lifted into the air. 10 feet, 20 feet, 30, and then it happened. A spark, a sharp cracking sound. And in one unbearable instant the helicopter exploded. A violent fireball lit up the entire rooftop, shaking the building, shattering windows, sending guests screaming and ducking for cover. Burning fragments rained down like pieces of the sun. Elias fell to his knees. Investors screamed, the staff cried, a woman collapsed in shock. The pieces of the billionaire's helicopter crashed onto the rooftop in a blazing inferno. The laughter was gone. The arrogance was gone. The world went silent, except for the roar of flames. Elias trembled, covering his mouth. I tried to warn him, and then a voice behind him. "Elias." He turned. It was Emma Whitman, Charles's only daughter. Early 20s, soft brown eyes, dressed elegantly in black. She had been at another event when she rushed to the rooftop after hearing the explosion. She looked at Elias, tears streaking down her face. "You were the one," she whispered. "People said you tried to stop him." Elias nodded, shaking, unable to hold back tears. He wouldn't listen. I heard the pilots say the fuel valve was leaking. I tried." Emma placed a trembling hand on his arm. "You did more than anyone else did." "But Elias choked. "He thought I was just a waiter, just a black kid." Emma finished softly. "My father was wrong about a lot of people. Firefighters rushed past them, alarms blaring. Emma wiped her cheeks. "Elias, come with me." She led him away from the chaos, down into the private lounge, where emergency responders were gathering. Emma looked him in the eyes. "Tell me exactly what you heard." Elias recounted everything, the argument, the leak, the warning. She didn't interrupt him once. When he finished, Emma took a deep breath. "My father built his empire ignoring warnings from people he thought were beneath him. Tonight it cost him everything." He lowered his head. "I'm sorry." "Don't be," Emma whispered. "You saved every other person who would have flown with him tonight. You saved me." Elias blinked. "Saved you?" Emma nodded. "We were supposed to fly together, but I texted him I'd be late. If I was on time, I would have been in that helicopter too." Elias felt his knees weakened and Emma stepped closer. You're not just a waiter, you're brave, observant, smart, and my father never saw the value in people like you. But I do, Elias whispered. I only tried to help, and you did, Emma said. More than you know. Days later, the investigation confirmed everything Elias had warned about. Elias suddenly became the center of attention, news anchors praising him, engineers calling him a hero, but he didn't care about fame. He cared that someone listened. Emma met with him again, this time in her father's office. I'm taking over the company, she told him, and I want you to join us. Elias blinked. Join as a waiter? Emma shook her head. No, she said, sliding a folder toward him. As a safety liaison, full salary, full authority to stop any launch, any flight, any project, if you see risk. Elias's heart nearly stopped. Why me? Because you saved my life, she whispered, and because you saw what no one else saw. Your voice matters. It always did. Tears filled Elias's eyes. Thank you. No, Emma said gently. Thank you for caring enough to shout when everyone else stayed silent. Elias took the job, and from that day forward, no one at Orion Tech laughed when he spoke. They listened, because respect isn't about status, it's not about wealth, it's not about titles. Respect is earned by truth, courage, and integrity. And sometimes the person the world thinks is the least important ends up saving the most important lives. Moral of the story: never underestimate someone because of their job, skin color, or status. Wisdom can come from anyone, and ignoring the truth, especially when spoken by the unheard, can cost everything. Listen, respect, value people. You never know whose voice might save your life.